Hello, everyone. My name is Mike Marin, and I'm currently a senior here at Whitewater. Imagine starting a company and turning it into one of the biggest sports companies in the world. Well, that's what Barstool Sports did, and this is my company. So, what we're going to be talking about today, you just saw the title page. Now we're on the table of contents. Then we're going to get into a little bit of the background on Barstool and their current trends. And then we're going to talk about the brand promise. And then I'm going to go over our target audience. Then I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of their consumer insights they have. Then we'll get into the objectives. Then I'm going to get into the tone of the campaigns I'm going to be talking about. And then I have campaign 1, campaign 2, and campaign 3. So a little background information about Barstool Sports. Barstool Sports is one of the most well-known media sensations of our time. Back in 2003, Dave Portnoy launched the brand as a local Boston newspaper. He even recruited homeless to hand out copies in various subway stations. Over the next 4 years, the paper transformed, gaining a more lifestyle vibe and gaining a greater momentum across the country. As new content was developed, investors took interest in the brand and its voice. They ended up launching websites and blogs, and Barstool hit a peak in 2016, selling 51% of their company to the Chernin Group, and that was evaluated at about $15 million. Dave Portnoy, without putting a single dollar in the organization, he gained heavy following through word of mouth. And 17 years later, Barstool content is still positioned to be one of the top performing across all social media. And then recently in 2020, Penn National Gaming purchased Barstool, a piece of Barstool for 36%. And then that's when they launched the Barstool Sportsbook. A current trend I found about Barstool Sports. This graph is from Statista, leading sports media companies in the United States on social media in 2020 by user engagement. ESPN is 1, Turner Sports is 2, and then that's followed by Barstool Sports, which is huge for them because ESPN and Turner Sports are so big. Just Barstool Sports being third already from where they started just shows how they're trending in the right direction, and they have a very loyal fan base. Barstool's brand promise is to entertain their audience through digital media on sports and pop culture. They mainly do this through podcasts. They have hundreds of podcasts and people they work with. Target audience for Barstool Sports, it's going to be young college men and women ages from 18 to 24 years old. It's going to be people who enjoy sports very much. So I did a brand persona on someone. His name is Chad Johnson. He's 19 years old. He attends the University of Florida. He loves sports and he's a very outgoing person. As you can see in the picture, he's at a football game there. Consumer insights I found on Barstool Sports. 88% of people who purchase from Barstool Sports come back. So if that's purchasing merchandise on their website, if that's buying something from a podcast, if that's using their sports book and going back and using it again, they just have a very loyal fan base and people love to come back. 68% of their users are under the age of 30, which is a ginormous number, so it's good to target that younger demographic. 15% of college kids visit Barstool Sports website, and that's just college kids alone. They're the third leading sports media companies in the US, according to Statista. ESPN and Turner Sports are ahead of them. They're the number one most engaged digital sports media creators. They have over 140 million social media followers. For our objectives, we want to build brand awareness with our target audience more. We want to engage them more and get feedback from them. We also want to create interest. By doing that, we can do that through promotion and podcasts. And we just want to keep it an overall fun environment for everyone. The tone I'm going to be using is going to be very upping and exciting because that's what Barstool is. For all my campaigns, I really want to tie in my objectives, my key insights, and I want to talk to you about why my target audience would like them. So for my first campaign, it's the Barstool Fund. This really created a lot of brand awareness for Barstool. So this was when Dave Portnoy launched the fundraising effort called the Barstool Fund in December of 2020. This was a fund for small businesses impacted by the pandemic. Portnoy ended up contributing over $1 million of his own money toward the effort, and it has raised over $41 million, helping over 500 local businesses. Portnoy ended up leaving this fund permanently year round now. And I really think this ties in to my target audience, even though it's a younger target. Um, they really supported these small businesses because it's just people helping people. We even saw more people over the ages of 30 contributing to this fund. So it was just creating a larger target audience for us. And once again, when there was a time in need, Barstool just helped people. They helped people get their lives back together. And this campaign was one of the biggest campaigns of the year in 2020. So for my campaign number two, it's gonna be Rough and Rowdy Brawl. Barstool purchased a boxing license in West Virginia, and they have a couple 2 to 3 pay-per-view fights a year, and they advertise crazy for them. This is really good for their brand. So to sign up for Rough and Rowdy, you have to be between the ages of 18 and 35, so that really ties in with my target audience. College kids love these events. Uh, and then bringing it back to my objectives, it just creates a fun environment for Barstool to connect with their fans. They have a ring in West Virginia, and it's just a huge party basically, and just fans engaging with the Barstool people is a really cool thing to see. And this is how they keep people engaged with their company. So campaign number three is gonna be the Barstool Sportsbook. So Barstool made a sportsbook with Penn National Gaming because they got bought by them in 2020. So they're partnering together, made the sportsbook. They're gonna have a casino down the road, and so I'm gonna be talking about a sales promotion they have going right now. So if you're a new user for the Barstool Sportsbook, they'll give you $1,000 risk free on your first bet. Uh, so they're giving you $1,000 to bet on any game you want. And then that really hits home with my target audience because college kids are a big user of Barstool and the sportsbook, and they need that money. And if they're giving you money to bet on, they might as well use the Barstool Sportsbook. So this is huge for my objectives too, with just being creating brand awareness and having fun with the Barstool personalities. So this just creates a great amount of awareness for Barstool, and it really hits home with my target audience. To conclude everything about Barstool Sports, Dave Portnoy turned his small business into a global empire in the sports industry. They know how to target their audience, and they have been trending upwards ever since 2003 when they first opened. They're still expanding and engaging with their customers today. They are doing everything the right way.